What's up, YouTube? So today's topic, I'm going to talk about living in this matrix, right? So living in this world, right? So let's get to it. So as you're getting older in life, it is important to learn about financial success, learn about money, learn about credit, learn about like how to set yourself up for financial success, right? So as you learn about finances and money, you learn about investments, you learn about stocks, you learn about real estate, you learn about credit cards, different types of credit cards, you learn about loans, you learn about debts, you learn about car loans, car payments, you learn about how to pay your credit card on times, and then you got to apply for certain credit cards and all this other shit, right? Or when it comes to your W-2 tax returns, you got to either do TurboTax or do H&R Block or whatever you use so you get money in return, right? But there's nothing wrong with that, which is a good thing because the more you learn about finances, you learn more about success, right? So the more financial success you have and knowledge you have when it comes to building wealth and finances is going to help you set yourself up for future success in the future, right? And long-term success as well. So there's nothing wrong with that. It's ideal to do that. But what I'm trying to get at is the fact that life, this world is a fucking game. It's a fucking game. It's a huge monopoly game. We got to do all that shit. We got to constantly deal and worry and stress and focus on money, building a generational wealth and building money long term. We're doing all this shit. We're putting all of our energy into this bullshit money system, right? Just so we could one day build a life for ourselves, so we could be free one day. All this is why, like I say, I feel like this world is bullshit. Like I can see through the bullshit of this world. Don't get me wrong. I'm still in this world. I still want to create a good life for myself. So one day I could experience a tiny bit of freedom one day, to where like I could travel around the world. I can meet different types of people I want to meet, and I could do the things I enjoy doing whenever I want, at whatever I want, and whenever I want, right? If I'm dealing with stupid ass retarded people, if I have a lot of financial freedom, then I have the free will to not fucking deal with them, right? But that's the thing with the money system. This money system, it forces us to be put into toxic and abusive situations. It forces us to be around people we don't like. It forces us to do things we don't want to do because of money, because we all do things because of money. People working in these jobs, they don't want to be in because of money. A lot of people are miserable and they have a lot of mental health issues. There's a lot of violence, all because of money. Money is the main root problem of this shit. Money determines if the type of life you want to live. If you don't believe me, you look at people who are homeless. They have no opportunities. They don't have good hygiene. They don't know when their next meal is going to be up. They don't know how to survive because they're lacking in finances. They have no connections like that. Whereas if someone who has a lot of financial abundance, they have all the connections, they have a lot of shelter, they have a lot of connections with people, and they have the freedom to not tolerate disrespectful, toxic, retarded people, right? So it is what it is. This is how this world we live in. But so I am in the process of learning about finances. I'm trying to learn about this matrix, right? So learning how to do better at my job, learning how to build financial wealth. But at the same time, I be thinking to myself like, man, like this shit gets annoying because it's like I'm aware all this is bullshit. Like we're putting all our energy into this shit. There's nothing wrong. I'm not saying there's nothing wrong on trying to set your life up for success. But what I'm saying is, it's crazy how much energy it's crazy how much energy we're forced to put. It's crazy how much we're forced to put all of our energy into money, just so hopes in one day we could experience freedom to where we could do whatever the fuck we want whenever we want, right? If you're doing something you love and you're getting paid for it, that's a blessing, and that's a great thing. But even then, if you're making a lot of money based on the things you enjoy doing, you still got to worry about finances. You still got to worry about investments. You still got to worry about on how to manage your money. And don't get me wrong, if you're rich enough, you could hire like financial advisors, people who can manage your finances, which is good. But I'm talking about for most people who aren't making money at that level, and a lot of people aren't making money at that level. Only a select few people are rich like that. You know what I'm saying? So like, it's just bullshit, man. And even I saw on Twitter, no, but like in this life, it's like we're born into this world and we're all slaves, we're all enslaved. So we're all enslaved to the fucking money system. Like I view life as a big ass monopoly game because money is paper. It has no real value. Even with gold, why the fuck does gold fucking control us? You know, it's like, this is stupid, bro. Like, why do I put all my energy into worrying and stress? Like, we're not living a life. We're constantly in a state of survival, and we're always in a state of fucking worry. Why the fuck, as human beings, we always got to worry and stress about paper that dictates how successful and how much freedom we get based on how much paper we get? Life is a fucking game. You know what I'm saying? Life is a fucking game. And this is why some people, like, when people rob banks, when people rob stores, they make a lot of money than the average person versus someone who works at these bullshit 9 to 5 jobs where they're overworked and underpaid and don't get paid jack shit. But you see some other people who win lotteries and they found money on the floor, and then they win, or they get lucky by gaining a lot of money. You see people who fucking play sports, they make billions of dollars. Yet you have people in the military, they don't even make half as much money as people putting a ball in a fucking hoop, right? So this world there's a huge imbalance when it comes to the money system and shit. You know what I'm saying? There's a huge imbalance. I don't have answers to make this world a better place or to change the system, but at least make it fair. And just the fact that people say life is unfair, that's a huge fucking problem. Life should be fair. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people should have the financial freedom to travel around the world, to do the things they want to do whenever they want. People shouldn't be restricted or tied down to doing some bullshit they don't want to do because of the money system, right? It's like, I feel like like when I'm living life, I'm thinking to myself, man, I'm living in the wrong timeline. You know, I feel like, why am I reincarnated into this fucking timeline? I feel like I should be put in a different timeline, but instead I'm put into this fucking timeline where, like, I'm forced to be a slave and I'm forced to be around dumbass people who I don't agree with, but yeah, I'm forced to be around them because of this bullshit money system that controls our lives, pretty much, right? And I feel like I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of other people think like me too, or like they feel the same way, where like they feel like they're in the wrong timeline, or like they shouldn't have to deal with this bullshit. But the best way to navigate through the system is to follow your heart and do what you love, and do a lot of healing work. Because if you're in this world, this world is filled with trauma and pain, right? And evil shit. So if you're in this world, you're naturally going to develop some type of trauma, some type of pain, and some type of hurt shit, right? Where you got to heal from. So to take advantage of this world, or try to make this world work, or trying to make this evil world work in your benefit, is to do a lot of healing work and to do what you love, to follow your heart and make this system work for you, so you could track the money instead of you having to work for the money, right? It's easier said than done, but this shit's hard, but it is what it is, man. But yeah, but this is crazy. Like me, I am in the process of learning about finances. I am learning about investments and shit, but I be getting annoyed though sometimes, because like, why do I I really gotta do all this shit my whole life just so I can build financial wealth, just so I can make a lot of money in hopes one day I could be financially free, so I can finally do the things I really want to do, even though it's our birthright to fucking be free. You know what I'm saying? This is bullshit. And don't get me wrong, I know some people, they have a harder, like, it's all about gratitude and shit like that. Like, some people live in third world countries where, like, they don't have the freedom to fucking get clean water, to eat food, to have shelter and shit. At least in America, we have the freedom and the privilege to have shelter, to have access to the internet, and to have a freedom of speech. But at the same time, it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this world is weird. It's like, we live in a very weird world, but it's just how it is, man. It is how it is. And when I say this is how it is, I'm not saying give up, or like, just whatever dreams you have, whatever it's in your heart's desires, go after it and do what you love, you know, to the best of your ability, and just hope for the best, you know. If you're forced to do something you don't want to do, like if you're forced to work at a job you don't want to be in, then sometimes you got to do it, and there's nothing wrong with that. Every successful human being you see in this planet, they're forced to do things they don't want to do just so they can help build themselves up in the future for success, pretty much. So that's how you gotta look at life. But what helps me is this, right? I'm not the only one that hates this world. I'm not the only person that hates the fucking people, that hates like the corrupt system. A lot of people think like me, and I'm aware of this, but this is where your choice comes in. Either you let it affect you and like you just take your anger out on the world in a negative way, and eventually lead you to going to jail or prison, or it'll lead you to get into a lot of trouble, making your situation a lot harder. Or you could use this bullshit ass system and a lot of dumbass people to your motivation, so you can help skyrocket your success and to live the type of life you want to live, and for you to become a more bold, more courageous individual, a more confident person who is willing to put their gifts and talents out to the world. So one day you could build a life for yourself, to where you can attract money working in your favor, so you can make this system work in your favor, and maybe one day you could change this world for the better, and you can help people around you, right? So that's how you gotta look at it. You gotta channel your anger, you gotta channel your emotions. Don't let this system control you. Don't let the matrix control your mind in a way. I know it is frustrating, it is annoying, but just know that you're not alone, and just know that your mind is very powerful. So like, whatever you put your mind into, you will get it. It's a guarantee. It may take longer than expected, but you will get it. This is why mind is very powerful. You know what I'm saying? So you just got to use your mind, and you just got to channel your emotions. You know what I'm saying? And always have gratitude too, because you always be put in a worse situation. Even though this whole bullshit world, it is bullshit, it is evil, it's corrupt as fuck, and we got a lot of stupid ass people in this world, but don't let it affect you. Don't let it stop you from your success. You know what I'm saying? You may face some setbacks here and there, but just because you're dealing with setbacks and all this other shit, it does define who you are as a person. And no matter what setbacks or obstacles life will throw at you, just know that like, you have the strength and willpower to overcome it. If you were experiencing it, then that means you wouldn't have the tools to overcome it. So just the fact that you're experiencing a lot of setbacks and a lot of hard shit and a lot of unfair situations like that, dealing with dumbass people in this corrupt world, it means that you have the strength and power and the willpower to overcome all these things, so you can become a better person and you can build the type of life you want to live on your own terms. So don't let this world affect you, and just know that you're not alone, and you got this, and just know that you're not alone. It is good to use them if you want. Everyone has a different purpose, so what may work for me may not work for you. But if you're in these situations where you have to use the matrix to your benefit, then just do that. But just know that you're not alone, and at times we are forced to do things we don't want to do in order for us to get to where we need to go. So don't ever lose sight of your tunnel vision. Don't ever lose sight of your dreams and your goals, and remember why you started. And just know that you're not alone, and you got this. And have a good one, and always follow your heart and do what you love. And good luck to you, and have a good one. Peace.